Coming up, we return to looking at WordPress e-commerce plugins.
That's right, Matt. We also return to looking at iThemes with their foray into e-commerce plugins, Exchange.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of PressThis. I'm your host, Matt.
And I'm Dan.
This is the show where we take some of the awesome stuff in the WordPress world, plugins, themes, and other fun things, put them head to head, and try to pick a clear winner for you. Today, we're going to go into e-commerce stuff once again.
We veered off the path for quite a while here, and time to get back on track.
Time to get back on track to the e-commerce money train.
That's right. And
Speaking of money, I'm going to cut you off one more time. 1,200 fans. We want to get more. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you like what we're doing. If you want to hear some different things, let us know in the comments.
Absolutely.
Continue, Dan.
So last week, iThemes, we just recently covered their builder theme framework. We've talked about Backup Buddy in the past. So they're no stranger to our show and us talking about them. They're very prolific plugin and theme developers. They finally entered the world of e-commerce with Exchange. So Exchange is iThemes' take on e-commerce, the same space as Jigoshops and your WooCommerces and things like that. Yep. And we're here to talk about what it's like.
That's awesome. One of the underpinnings of this plugin and the whole mantra of iThemes e-commerce is they want to do things in a super simplistic fashion.
Yes.
They are trying to spearhead e-commerce simplicity, which is going to be an interesting challenge.
Yes.
Because typically I think everyone tries to start with that mindset.
Right.
But then with e-commerce, there's multiple payment gateways that you have to work, and then somebody's like, "Oh, I got a digital product, but then it should expire. But then I got multiple digital. I got physical products I want to ship, but can I cut the weight in half? And I don't want the dimensions over." There's always like this, right? All this stuff that ends up stacking on. It'd be really good. It's going to be really interesting to see how iThemes says no to a lot of these things.
And that's what's so interesting about it is here we have fresh meat here. We have a completely fresh start to the e-commerce world. So you sort of begin to see e-commerce from the conceptual level when they designed it of, so we're going to give them PayPal and Stripe, which are the two payment options available. So you do PayPal standard or PayPal standard secured, which just requires the API keys and stuff like that to make it a little bit more secure of a transaction. And then they give you Stripe. They charge right now, they say it's going to go up to $97. I don't know how true that is, but right now it's $10 for the add-on for Stripe as a payment gateway, which is a really fantastic payment gateway that I'd recommend. I don't know about yourself. I think you're in it to win it with Stripe as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. Yep. But they don't offer, for example, Google Checkout or Authorize.net or all these other payment gateways. But you wonder, are they going to stick to their guns here?
Right.
With this very simple interface, just this is what you get, kind of work with it, or are they going to become like a WooCommerce where there's just seemingly thousands of these extensions? There aren't really that many, but it just seems like this giant stack of papers on a previously clean desk.
Right. Yeah. And I do know for a fact that they are working on other payment gateways because I saw Corey Miller, the founder, asking about that on Twitter, and some other folks from iThemes asking about it. So we know that there's going to be more of them. And I think when I install this plugin right off the bat, when I think of in terms of simplicity, it's kind of hard to explain if you haven't taught many people how to use WordPress. Right. But even like the WooCommerces and Jigoshops and Shopped, they're all fairly easy when you know WordPress.
Right.
But then there's some have 2 menus, 3 menus, and then there's a whole bunch of options within that. Exchange right now, when you install it, is just an Exchange menu item with products, payments, and settings. Right. Because the only 3 things you have to worry about.
Right.
Which sounds like, man, that's pretty stupid, Matt. So big deal. It's got 1 menu item. It's a big deal when the people who are using this stuff are like your Aunt Nancy selling loaves of bread, and she's like, I don't even know where to begin. Having something simplistic like this is great. Yeah. Will it last?
That's my thing is, and I think it'll be interesting to come back to this, maybe continue to kind of cover this as it advances along with WooCommerce and the other guys. But right now it is simplistic, but is that only because They don't have that sort of extra weight on it at
Right.
this point that they're gonna, somebody's gonna say, I need fast shipping options with you guys. Okay, now we have to do FedEx and UPS, and I want to do that over in this country here that you don't support. So now they have to add this payment gateway, and it has potential to become more complex than it already is. And
Right.
it'll be interesting to see if that happens.
So right out of the box, installation was, well, first let's talk about the stats. I mean, we know it just kind of recently came out.
That's, 2,500 downloads already.
2,500 downloads. They did a big email blast. I'm on their newsletter, so they sent all that. There was some hype built up the week before. 5 out of 5 stars with 1 vote.
Right.
So
so it's one of those things that
Corey was out there pressing the 5 stars.
So I mean that's sort of like too early to tell.
Way too early to tell on how we normally compare stats. But 2,500 is a strong number in about a week and a half's time.
Right.
And there's an introductory pricing model in place right now,
which is free.
Which is free. The core WordPress is free.
Right.
The core plugin is free.
Yeah.
But to get the Stripe add-on, which comes with
it comes with a year of support
year
as well.
Of support, will sell for $97 when it's official. But right now, they're selling for $10.
Right. I think it's just like introductory. Get your foot in the door. How is it? Give some feedback. Right now, it's $10.
Right. And then from there, you've got a Pro pack at $150, and then a Dev Suite at $197. Yeah. Which gets you all the add-ons and support for a year,
right?
And then up to all the other plugins that they have, right?
Right, and what the Dev Suite does is it does sort of what WooThemes does, where actually even more specifically, MemberPress does through WPMU Dev, where they just sort of take everything that they have and just kind of throw it at you, and that's the Dev Suite there,
right?
With all their plugins from elsewhere, like Backup Buddy.
Yeah. So that's the pricing model. That's the installation base so far. So installing the plugin, very straightforward.
Plugin installation. Yeah.
Installed it right from the repo. Just search for it, installed it. No big, headache there.
Right.
And, the setup screen, the initial setup screen, prompts you to just put in your name and information and pick a gateway. So up to two.
Of the two, I meant. Of the two, I said, yeah.
So not anything challenging there. I found it very straightforward, very easy to install. My favorite part about all this is when you add a product, right? So again, WordPress purists out there are going to be like, oh, it doesn't really matter, big deal. So to us who train a lot of people using WordPress and deal with clients that are using e-commerce in WordPress, just the structure of the post type, the product type.
Yes.
Of having just a bigger font for product title, and then right next to that is the price. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Right.
Product description is right there. No typical tiny MCE WYSIWYG editor. Right. People aren't confused by that. It's just right there on the screen. In a very simplistic fashion.
Right.
And
it's
a minor thing, but it actually brings a lot of weight to this, or it carries a lot of weight on a positive note,
right?
Especially when you're training clients or somebody who's not even used to WordPress having to do e-commerce. This makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. So for physical products, it's good there in that sense, tying it together and doing it that way. They have settings for exactly what the email looks like. They tell you what all the shortcodes are right there when you're actually sending your email settings, which is great. A full suite of digital download options as well. So if you're somebody who's selling a digital product, whether it be like training videos or music or ebooks or whatever it is, it's
important to say that that's all it's geared towards right now.
Yeah,
is that digital product.
Right.
So right now it's about digital products. I'm sure you could sell a physical product.
It's just a little bit more.
There's no shipping or anything like that.
Right, which is where it's sort of like, again, where it's nice that they do allow you to track very easily all that kind of customer information, so you can easily keep communication with them and get that to happen.
Yep.
Through the email system.
Yep.
But for the digital download so far, lots of great stuff there. Setting expiration dates, the amount you can download, how long, things like how long the sale lasts for, great stuff like that.
Even uploading the files, very easy. They're just the fields are right there to upload and add more.
And it does it right through the WordPress media uploader too, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, I mean, I think in terms of selling digital e-commerce products, this is doing it really well.
It is doing it very well. It's very clean, easy to use.
Yeah. I think when you get into the physical products, that's when you're going to start to see some added stuff.
Yeah, and maybe headaches. And that's where we'll hopefully be able to provide more of that coverage. One thing I do want to mention I think is really great about it, and I don't know maybe I just don't look into it enough, but they do have a great roadmap right on their website.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a developer who's going to be kind of using this for the long run, or even if you're just somebody who's really interested in e-commerce, you came here from like, I don't know, a small business or something, and you basically said, I need this product to work and I want to be able to do this. They actually have a full-on Trello roadmap that you can go out to right on the website, and you kind of see exactly what's coming out, what just came out, what stuff is in the pipes, what stuff they're thinking about doing. So you know, okay, in 6 months or so, maybe this will be out, and then I can kind of use this as a viable product.
Yeah, it provides some great transparency, and that's really what a lot of the good WordPress shops are going to be doing. Is putting that right out there and say, here's where we're going with this stuff. If you're one of those people who are like, oh, I wish you really had this option, or I wish you really had this payment gateway. Well, you just got to take 5 minutes out of your day and provide some of that feedback, and you can jump right into the Trello board and kind of do that, which is cool.
It's really cool. Video tutorials. I mean, this is really, if you're kind of new to this whole thing and you're just trying to jump in, and especially, I mean, selling digital product here it is. It's really simple, easy to use. All kinds of video tutorials. If you are, you are grandma, as you're saying, trying to sell your cookies or whatever, right? Just really great for that.
I think that if we do a quick recap, it's still in its infancy.
Yes, because it came out last week.
So. Literally just came out. Super simple to set up. Obviously, right now it's focused on just digital downloads, but it does have. Let me just go into the settings. The payment gateways, which I can't find right off the bat right now.
It would be under.
Either way,
help.
there is like an in-store pickup or in-store purchase, which is cool because then that way, if you were selling something physical,
right,
I guess somebody could pay for it right there and pick it up,
right,
in the store, which is really cool, but still yet to compete at that physical shipment item level, like a WooCommerce, a Jigoshop, shop, that kind of thing.
Right.
But definitely keep an eye out because they may expand into that space.
Right.
Or they might stick with just digital downloads, which would put it more up against Pippin's easy digital downloads, which will be interesting to see as well.
Awesome.
Very good.
Cool.
I liked it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it for the new user. Again, all digital downloads, but still, I mean, or technically you could do like personal pickup options or different things like that.
Tremendous stuff. We look for you to give us some feedback in the comments.
Absolutely.
What do you think about Exchange if you've played with it? What do you think is going to be up next for them? But don't cheat and look at the Trello board that they have freely available on the web. What else you want us to do? More reviews, more theme stuff, plugin stuff. You let us know in the comments.
Please do.
We want to hit 10,000 subscribers. So
that's what I said.
Dan made that quite some time ago, so we'll hope we can get there. Thanks to you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.